Garden dominance continues. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse Sunday edition. A noon matinee game at MSG. The Knicks hosted the Orlando Magic. Yes, the last team that beat them at MSG. I think it's the only team that's beaten them at MSG. Well, the Knicks got revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge. They are now 13-1 at home. Unbelievable. They are clearly in second place right now. Only two losses behind the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks team is coming together. It's coming together, and they were ready today for the Magic physicality. And bodies were flying all over the court, and it was a bizarro play by Desmond Bane. I have that highlight. I got some highlights of the star of this game, and we're going to get into it. Unfortunately, Deuce did leave the game. I have an update on that. Karl-Anthony Towns did not play because of a strained calf or something. Calf tightness is what they called it. I got my notes here. Look here. It was a calf tightness, but he was there on the bench in street clothes. Maybe it's just a one-game thing, saving him for Tuesday, an NBA Cup game in Toronto, which will be the deciding game whether the Knicks go to Vegas or not. So a lot of good things are happening, but always when there's lots of good, there's a little bit of bad as well. Franz Wagner got hurt. Not that that's bad for the Knicks, but it's unfortunate to see anybody get hurt. We'll talk about that as well, but the Deuce thing is really what I was referring to mostly. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video. It'd be great. Hit the thumbs up button for me. And also, there is a holiday code for Knicks merch. Knicks-Verse merch. The store link is down below in the description, but the code is right there in yellow. 15% off code, and the code is holiday15. Go for it. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. Knicks win 106-100, and this game got sloppy late in that fourth quarter. As it says right there, a fugly, feisty revenge win for the Knicks. It really was pretty ugly at times, but the Knicks were able to put together two nice runs, a 13-0 run and a 7-0 run to begin the fourth quarter to take control of this game, because the Magic kept hanging around. They just kept hanging around. Knicks were able to build some double-digit leads, but then the Magic would just come back, and the Knicks got cold in that second quarter. The second quarter is becoming an issue again for the Knicks. We'll see. Now, it also, they were missing Karl-Anthony Towns, so that did affect their ability to control the floor, especially with the size that Orlando puts out there. But let me tell you, Huck Porty came to play today. Huck Porty came to play. And so did this man right there in the photo, OG Anunoby. In my opinion, he was the star of the game. Yes, 21 points for him on 8 of 14 shooting, 5 of 7 from the three-point line, 7 rebounds. He was a plus 20. And of course, always his fabulous defense. But Jalen Brunson, he's the one who got the Knicks out to a quick start in this game. He scored 16 points in the first quarter, but then 0 in the second quarter. Now, he sat almost 6 minutes because he played all 12 minutes of the first quarter, and I'm calling it out again. I don't like it. I don't know why Brown is choosing to do it. He's been doing it all season long. Not every single game, but a lot of games, a majority of games, he's playing Brunson all of the first 12 minutes. And it kind of takes him out of when he finally gets into a groove, it takes him out of it sitting on the bench so long. And he was an 0 for, I think it was 0 for 4 in that second quarter. But then he came out in the third quarter, he picked it up, and the Knicks were rolling once again. Deuce got off to a cold start, and then he got hurt, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But look, 9 dimes for Jalen Brunson and 2 rebounds, and he played some decent defense. The Knicks were ready. They were ready for Orlando's physicality tonight, and none more so than Brunson. He and Suggs were going at it all game long. You could hear Breen and Clyde talking about it. Getting hit in the face and things like that. They were really going at it. And then Suggs finally got really cold, but Brunson got cold too. So it was a really interesting dynamic. But the Knicks point guard, Jalen Brunson, has lit up Orlando this season. I think this is the third 30-point game against them. But this guy here, okay, we'll check this out. Ian Begley, his post-game recap tweets are always really nice and concise. Knicks improved to 13-1 at home with a 6-point win over Orlando. Knicks get first win versus Magic. They're 1-2 overall. OG Anunoby had 21 points, went 5 of 7 from 3. Mikal Bridges had 7 assists, helped lead a strong defensive effort. Another 30-point game from Jalen Brunson in 9 assists. But this man, as I've told you, look, also 0 turnovers, 3 steals. Man, we just ripped the ball out of Anthony Black's hand and just raced the other end. Plus 20 in 28 minutes. This is what we have been missing. This guy is one of the most impactful players in the NBA on both ends. His excellence on defense. I mean, he's definitely he should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? Easily one of the top 5 defensive players of the year. Because he can also he can guard 1 through 5. There are some big fives that give him a little bit of trouble, but his ability to get down low and take out the legs from the centers, tremendous. His ability to shoot the gap, unbelievable. And then he's dunking like a fiend right now. I am loving what he's. This is only his second game back since his injury, and the Knicks did a great job of surviving without him. They actually thrived while he was gone. In the 9 games, they went 7-2. Right? Or 6-3. 6-3? 6-3. They went 6-3. Wonderful. And the Knicks, like I said before, have now won 7 of their last 8 games. They're 8-2 in the last 10 games. They are firmly taking control of second place. Here, we'll look here. Look at them right here. 16-7 is their record. Almost a 700 winning percentage. And a 700 winning percentage is what you need to win 60 games in the NBA. And now, look at it. The dominance at home. I think it's going to help them, especially in the playoffs. Come playoff time, they're currently on a 3-game winning streak. All right. Let's keep going here. And this man, Ariel Hukporti, in 23 minutes off the bench with Cat out as Knicks beat Orlando 106-100. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. And Mike Breen said it, best game as a Knick, and I tweeted it out as well. Hukporti's best game as a Knick by far. There he is, because he won Defensive Player of the Game, as Christian Winfield tweets out. And today against the Magic, Mike Brown says OG Anunoby was an honorable mention. Honestly, OG could have easily won it as well, but this is nice to give Hukporti some love after he was in the doghouse. He was in Mike Brown's doghouse for a while. Remember that? Nowhere to be seen in times when Knicks needed some size. But without Cat available, Hukporti got plenty of time. How many minutes did he play? Let's see here. Hukporti ended up playing almost 23 minutes. Nice. It's probably the most he's played in a while, for sure. All right, keep it going, because it wasn't just Hukporti dominating in the paint. It was Mitchell Robinson once again. He played 24 minutes himself. 3 of 4 from the field, a couple of beautiful putbacks. He finished with 6 points, 13 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, a steal, and a block. Here he's credited with 2 assists. Nice. Well done. Well done, Mitch. In some respects, he could have gotten Defensive Player of the Game, but he was having a little bit of trouble with Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner was hurting the Knicks, and when he went down, it really changed the game for Orlando. But, again, they stuck around. Yeah, he was 3 of 4 in that first quarter. Hit a 3. He had 3 rebounds, had an assist, got a steal, 7 points. They were a +4. They were up 4 when he got hurt. So it definitely impacted the game tremendously, losing him. And it sucks because I really wanted to beat the Orlando Magic with their full squad, even though we didn't have Cat. I still wanted to beat them with their full squad. And the Knicks could have still beaten them, because at some point Brown would have put the demon on him, OG, and he would have suffocated him. But there was something weird that happened in the fourth quarter. As Christian tweets out here, Brown pulls starters with 1 minute and 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter with a 12-point lead. Magic go on a ridiculous 8-2 run. But it wasn't just an 8-2 run. The Knicks played into it. Bad turnovers. Even Kolek had a bad turnover. And they got called for a backcourt violation. Ben Brown subs Hart, Bridges, Brunson back in at the 19-second mark to secure the victory. But yeah, I mean, Gershon Yabusele, dude, the fouls. They sent the Magic to the foul line a lot. Then the Magic didn't even have their good players in at that time. I mean, Jonathan Isaac, I think, got in there. Tristan Da Silva, Jet Howard, Noah Penda, Jace Richardson, But it was really just like they got sloppy. And Kolek, did he get a turnover? He did not get credit for a turnover, interestingly, but Clarkson did. 2 turnovers. Hokporti made a turnover there. But Yabusele, a turnover and 2 personal fouls, sending the Magic to the free throw line. Stopping the clock. Come on. Got to play smarter. You want to be one of the guys in this rotation of the championship team? Play smarter, Yabusele. All right, here we're going to talk about here. Ian tweeted this out early, right after the game. McBride suffered left ankle injury and is still being evaluated at this point. Knicks say they will know more on the injury tomorrow. However, according to Mike Scotto, his sources said New York Knicks guard Miles McBride had an X-ray on his left ankle, which was negative. Deuce will have an MRI tomorrow for further evaluation. McBride came into today's game averaging career highs in points, 12, and 3-point percentage, 46.2. Again, Bane, just overly physical. I think that should have been, it was a foul call. It was a foul call, but yeah, he's intentionally pushing him out of, he wants to land on him. People were saying, and I'm going to show you the play that Bane did on OG, which was just fucking ridiculous. The Magic are kind of fucking ridiculous, honestly. They're getting away with too much physicality on the floor. And I think the NBA is going to have to start stepping in and calling these games much tighter because guys are getting hurt. They're getting hurt. Even their own guys are getting hurt. Actually, on the play that Franz got hurt, Hokporti made a clean block on him, but Franz, I don't know what, he shouldn't have tried to make that play to begin with. Hokporti was right there. He should have maybe stopped, pulled it out, maybe done a little fake or whatever, but he tried to force it, and Hokporti blocked it, and the guy just landed, and his knee buckled. So I hope he recovers quickly, but still, the physicality, Wendell Carter, remember he tripped, he stuck his foot out and Brunson stepped on it and rolled his ankle. That was on Wendell Carter. Who else? He also hurt somebody else. Who was that? I can't remember now. But the Magic are, to use the word dirty, I'm not going to call them dirty, but they're playing overly physical. And the refs are letting it go, letting it happen. And that's got to get reined in. This is kind of recapping what I just told you there. All right, we got here are the team stats, but we're going to go look at this play here. All right, here it is. Look at that. Bane winds up and just flings the ball at OG, who's out of bounds. That is a crazy, ridiculous play. It was deemed a hostile act, and a technical foul was awarded, but OG got a tech for pushing Bane, saying, what are you doing that for? But look at the play again. For one, in my opinion, Black fouled OG. He slapped the ball out. I know Breen says it during the game flow. He's saying, Black made a great defensive play. But no, he smacks his hand. And then look at this. Look, Bane's standing there. He has full control of the ball. He doesn't need to throw this out. You do that when you're like going out of bounds and you want to like save the possession. No, he had possession. He could have just turned and gone the other way. Right there. He smacks him in the hand. So now OG's, look, he's standing on 2 feet flat and throws the ball. Now, someone tweeted out saying this is becoming a habit now. He did this on an Atlanta player, grabbed his arm, flung him to the paint, and then threw the ball off of him. So I think, again, NBA, got to look in on this. Now here, they're hugging it out afterwards, but this is bizarre as fuck. Look. I don't even understand the play, honestly. I don't get it, but there it is. Now let's look at the OG highlights. Boom. Dunk, baseline. Beautiful. Deuce, before he got hurt. Get Brunson there. Swinging the ball around. Look, the passing was not, during periods of time, got really nice and crisp. The ball movement, the player movement, excellent. Another dunk by the Demon. I know some of you don't like me calling him Demon, but he's just a monster out there. Look at that one. That was a nice one. I was a little worried. I get a little worried. He's got the left hammy, but he's definitely all the way back. Look at that. 5 of 7 from the 3-point line. Hitting him above right on the break. Hitting him from the corners. Another corner one right there. Look at the ball swing. Look at the ball moving. You see that? Bing, bing. Quick, decisive passes. Brunson trying to work into the paint. Finds OG. Boom, and above the break 3. Beautiful, because he is the best corner 3-point shooter in the NBA. And here comes another one. McCall, beautiful. McCall was a great orchestrator tonight. He didn't hit a 3. He was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, McCall. 6 of 17 overall, but he got picked up 7 assists, got a steal. He got credit for only 1 block shot, but he had an incredible block shot on Jace Richardson at one point. He finished with 12 points to go along with his 6 rebounds. He was a +1 in his time, 34 minutes of play. Let's see here. What else of note here? Josh Hart, interesting game for him. 12 rebounds. All of them defensive rebounds. 17 points he finished. He was 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. He had some big 3-pointers. There were some stretches there. Where was that? There was one stretch. So Hart, in the second quarter, when the Knicks only scored 19 points in that second quarter, the defense got sagged a little bit. Hart, instead of going over the screen, he goes under the screen, and Trey Jones, who's a fantastic 3-point, Tyus Jones, steps back, wide open, buries the 3, but then Hart responds with a 3 of his own. Beautiful. Mitch gets 2 offensive rebounds, and then he tips it in for 2, and the score at that point was 52-48. The Knicks were leading this, but and then McCall and Mitch, they seem to be developing a nice 2-man game lately. The first possession that I noticed that there was a nice alley-oop to Mitch, and then on the next one, Mitch sets a screen, and he rolls, and McCall keeps his dribble alive. He follows. He takes his defender down low, and he circles around. He's trying to find some space, but he was using Mitch's body to create some space for him, and then he hits a nice midi 2. And then towards the end, like with seconds left in this in the first half, Deuce tries to fight through a screen by Carter. Again, a little bit dirty. Wendell Carter Jr., and Deuce gets pushed, and he slams into Mitch's legs, and then Mitch fouls Suggs on a 3-point attempt. Suggs goes to the free throw line, hits all 3 of his free throws, and then on the next possession, I think the Knicks bricked it, and Anthony Black comes down, drains his only 3-pointer, and to give the Orlando the lead, 55-54 going into the second half. What I liked about so the Knicks are up the entire time, right? Not the entire time, but they're up most of the time there. But they were they were struggling offensively in that second quarter. they give away the lead going into the half. And you think, oh no, is this going to be a momentum builder for the Magic? Or who's going to come out looking sharp in the in the second half? Well, in the first 3 minutes and 25 seconds, the Knicks go on a 13-0 run. They completely 13-0 run. So now they're up 12. But then Bane, he finally scores. He finally breaks the run, the Knicks run, and then he makes the next 10 straight points for Orlando. But once again, Hart taking the role of momentum stopper from Deuce, buries a 3. And he connects on 7 straight points himself. And Porty continues his inspired defense in that second half. Then that's when Deuce gets hurt. He got fouled. He hits the 2 free throws, but then limps off the court. He goes into the locker room at that point in the third quarter. Jordan Clarkson, no points tonight. No points for Clarkson. 0 for 5. 0 for 4 from the three-point line. And 2 turnovers. And those occurred in that fourth quarter. I think it was mostly during that stretch when Orlando got back in this game really late. You know, Clarkson, honestly, at one point I was like, why is Brown leaving Clarkson in this game? And then he finally sits him. And the score was 89-78. But then he came back into the game when the starters were all benched because the game had blown out. So then the Knicks began. So the Knicks were dominating points in the paint by the end of the third quarter. They had 40 to just 28 for Orlando. They were up 82-73 by the end of the third quarter. Brunson caught fire again. He had 10 points in that third quarter, but he missed many makeables for him. That point, yeah. Oh, and on the first possession in the fourth quarter, Kolek scores. Beautiful drive. Love that. Let's look at the box score right here for you guys now. Here we go. Get this all the way up here. Okay, you can see Orlando, they only shot 28.6% from 12 of 42. The Knicks only attempted 35 three-pointers. That's probably the fewest in a long while. I can't remember when, but they weren't hitting them. Clarkson 0 for 4. Deuce was 0 for 5. Mikal Bridges 0 for 4. Brunson 1 of 7 from the three-point line. So it was a rough night from the three-point line, except for OG and Hart. And Yabusele did hit 2 of 3, which is nice. But man, that fourth quarter, those last 2 minutes was a disaster for him. You can see Deuce. I already talked about Deuce. I talked about Mitch. I think we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good, people. The points off. Oh, let's go look at this. I always like looking at the game charts. Here we go. Here's the lead tracker. As you can see right here, right at the cross of the end of the first half and the second quarter, that's when Orlando got the lead back, but never, once the Knicks took it on that 13-0 run, they never gave the lead back. Even though it got close, I think it got within 3 points a couple of times. And then in that fourth quarter, they built it up even more. The biggest lead they had was 16 points. Let's look over here. Team comparison. The Knicks rebounding domination 52-48. Assists 24-23. Knicks had 15 stocks, 7 blocks for the Knicks. Well done. That's Huck Bordy. That was Mitch. That was Mikal. Only 11 turnovers, so they did take care of the ball in general. And they hit their free throws, 85% from the free throw line. But they were fouling way too much in the first half. They had 11 fouls, and Orlando only had 5. Considering how physical Orlando is, that's what makes me confused. Like, there are fouls happening that these refs are allowing. That's got to be looked at. The points in the paint domination, it lessened in the second half, but the Knicks still were a plus 10 there. Second chance points, Orlando, plus 4. Fast break points, Orlando, a plus 5. So there you go. Let's go back to... All right, let's go back to here. Let's look at the NBA standings again. Look how pretty that is. Love seeing the New York Knicks right up there. Yes. I have predicted maybe a week ago, that by mid-January, I think the Knicks will overtake the Pistons for number 1 spot in the East. And I think by then, people will start realizing, and people, I mean like the NBA in general, will start realizing that the Knicks are the clear best team in the East. We haven't played Detroit. I can't wait till we play Detroit. Can't wait till we play OKC, Denver. We actually played Denver and OKC in a row. I think we play OKC in March at the Garden and then fly to Denver to play the Nuggets the next, not the next day, but the next game. So that'll be a fun time. Fun time for us. Okay. Here we go. Anything else here that's interesting? The points conceded off turnovers is pretty similar. The fouls. The Knicks ended up committing 21 fouls. Magic 16 fouls. The free throw percentage really was nice for the Knicks, even though they took 4 less attempts. They made 1 more free throw than the Magic. And similar with the 3-point shooting. They attempted 7 less, but hit only 1 fewer 3-pointers than Orlando. It was like paint domination. Beautifully done. All right. If you want to support the channel, please do so. The join button's down below. It gives you all the information. You get to see the members-only halftime shorts that I do. I do a recap of the first half, almost every single game. I think every game pretty much. And also, like I said, the discount code for the holidays, it's there. It's active right now. It's holiday15. It's the yellow text right there in the middle. It's right there. And that is the URL right there, but it's also the link is in the description of the video itself. You can just click on it and go right to the site. Get your stuff up. Shop. Yeah, you only got about, I think, 4 or 5 days. I think 5 days to get stuff in time for the holidays. So load up and support. Appreciate all of that. All right, this was a great victory for the Knicks. They needed to purge those losses that they had against Orlando. 2 of them. Knicks they've only have 7 losses, and 2 of them were at the hands of the Magic. So it's nice to rack up a W here against them and get their revenge for their only home loss. The Knicks are 3-6 on the road. They're going to Toronto next. It's a road game. If they can pick up that victory, again, this is the time to do it. Continue this roll. The Knicks are on a nice 3-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. Let's keep this mojo going. Wins, rack them up, but don't lose any players. Let's hope that the MRI on Deuce comes back negative, and it's just a little slight tweak, and with some ice and some treatment, he can walk it off, and maybe he'll miss the Toronto game, but maybe he'll be back for the game after that. Let's hope, because the Knicks need him. Knicks definitely need him. He's been one of the best 3-point shooters. He's in the top 10 of volume 3-point shooters in the NBA right now. That is a fabulous thing. That's something that, and while we're missing Shamet, we desperately need that from Deuce. Okay, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Thank you guys for checking in.